Welcome back to part 2 of Crypto Lodge's Harry Ye drama. He threatened to sue Tomb Forks, and now he's teaming up with 2Ohm. I just read all of this for part 2, but this is what we want to hear now. How the Tomb community and the 3Ohm community benefits from the partnership. Because apparently Harry's Tomb and 2Ohm are partnering. As I've been working on writing out the details of the partnership in a detailed timeline series after this introduction, I wanted to let both the Tomb and 3Ohm communities understand the benefits of the partnership with a quick and brief summary. How do I go from it's a rug to partnering? He did call it a rug. As I had mentioned in my apology previously, I was working on draining the swamp that is in DeFi on Phantom. You'll never do that. There'll always be rug pulls. And I was interested in starting with all the Tomb Finance forks. You can't stop it, Harry. You just got to do your research before investing in things. At the time, I was simply not interested in getting to know any of these projects. I just assumed all of them were scams and rugs until I was proven wrong. I call it fishing with dynamite, which I will go into detail in part 3. He partnered with Scarab Finance. He talked to them. He talked to Tomb Finance. So he's just trying to save Tomb. So in our pursuit of accountability, I picked 2Ohm, 3Ohm first, out of the list of 87 forks on my list to go after, since it had the most similar name to Tomb, but also the highest TVL and also the biggest community and also the best performer. Let's not forget to mention that. But yes, it has the highest TVL of all Tomb forks. It was also showing up in my Spooky Swap and PhantomScan.com and was actually annoying me every day. And I was hoping it was. Once I sold T-Share and got into 2Ohm, I was hoping he would see it and get annoyed by that. A lot of people left Tomb for 2Ohm. I was vocal against them, as you saw on Twitter, and the last thing I expected was the 2Ohm community. The last thing I expected was that the 2Ohm community was so strong, united, and they believed so much in the project that I started to have a look. Additionally, they were extremely good at engaging me and made me tweet about them to prove that I really was Harry. That is how the whole saga started. I respect people that stand up and prove me wrong. Thank you, 3Ohm. By the way, this pursuit of accountability continues. It's a mission, a movement, and it doesn't stop here. More on that later. How about actually disclosing how many T-Share and Tomb you hold, Harry, instead of making us dig it up by searching it in D-Bank, which I'll make a video about one day. It's over 90% now. Luck and timing. In short, it was a massive stroke of luck and timing that the universe had gifted me the opportunity to run Tomb. Nobody wanted it. It crashed. It had a vulnerability. You took it over. You hired new devs. And even an even larger stroke of luck and timing is that 2Ohm, 3Ohm addresses one of the use cases I would have had to deal with in 4 months' time, T-Share emissions completion. After lengthy discussions and due diligence within those few days of launching our pursuit of accountability, I determined the 2Ohm, 3Ohm's project was not a rugger scam. He just figured that out. Then I began to imagine the following. What if 2Ohm and 3Ohm were the additional yield farms that could support our LPs and platform after June 2022? What, so that Tomb can leech off of 2Ohm and 3Ohm? I don't think this is a good partnership. It was this simple question that led me to move immediately because I could battle test my idea and use case now versus having to wait until April. Hard to believe, yes, but it's the truth. In life, you are only given so many opportunities. The biggest opportunity that happened for me was Tomb Finance. It was one of my biggest opportunities too, but one of the best opportunities was selling it before it crashed. It just so happened that 2Ohm, 3Ohm was the second one yet as a result of pursuing something great and honorable for DeFi. There's more than just that. He's ignoring a lot of good forks. Me storming into the 2-ohm, 3-ohm chat room as we pursued bad actors and draining the swamp was the best thing to happen to Tomb Finance this year. However, I don't just look at Tomb Finance winning. I looked at how 2-ohm and 3-ohm could win as well. T-Share, more about Tomb. Okay, the benefits of the partnership for Tomb Finance. Of course. I'll link this article if you want to read the whole thing. More yield opportunities. You can stake 2-ohm and Tomb or 3-ohm and Tomb, which will emit these. Treasury support, although not a requirement, having a trusted partner that can help in the future or co-investment from a partner is always better to have than not to have. We don't need you for that, Harry. Please stay out. Please do not try to bail out 3-ohm or 2-ohm, or I'll be leaving that too. Additional team and community. The 2-ohm, 3-ohm team has access to my resources, teams, hedge funds, and support. Our core team is already working together with 3-ohm team around the clock. Monster increase in TBL and exposure and validation of the project. The 3-ohm just went ballistic today. Access to more liquidity and yield opportunities. The 3-ohm team have access to more liquidity in projects now, as well as more access to Tomb liquidity. Tomb will be a base pair for Tomb swaps, so will be more trading opportunities for 2-ohm and 3-ohm. Win number 4, treasury support from Tomb DAO, investor support from Harry Ye's hedge fund and network. Having access to large investment capital pool ensures stability and growth. Just having this partnership, the TBL for 2-ohm, 3-ohm went from 7 million USD for 3-ohm to just under 300 million USD in 48 hours. Did Harry just give that to them? I don't know how that works. The peg. Our goal is always to allow the market to decide when Tomb should be pegged to Phantom. That is 1-to-1 or to go above to 1.01. The DAO, myself, hedge funds, and other stakeholders that are invested in Tomb should only step in and help the peg during events that require support, like right now. If the market feels there needs to be more Tomb printed, the forces that allow emissions go above peg is what we want the market to do. That's not what you want a hedge fund to do that wants money back with interest. Also understand, nothing like Tomb has ever worked or existed before. We are in the data collection and observation stage of the protocol. We need to give Tomb time to do its thing. This is true. Tomb itself is not even 6 or 7 months. It's not that old. If Tomb is printing, the market wants it to print. That's not true. The market always wants it to print. We do our best not to interfere at all, as much as we would like Tomb to be above peg all the time in print. Long term, that is not sustainable. Well, it never falls below peg for 2-share or 3-share. Value of Tomb. Bullshit. Just bullshit. Tomb emission targets. Win-win-win. As mentioned before, after engaging with the executive team of 2-ohm, I quickly changed my tone from scam and rug and calling them out publicly for it to partnering with them over the next 48 hours. Now it was time to put the plan into action. However, there was another problem, and here is the stark reality. When I barged into the Discord and dropped a Twitter bomb online, there were immediate attacks and distrust from both the Tomb Finance and the 2-ohm Finance Discord channels. Of course there will be. You're Harry. People want you to just go away. The community and teams, and rightfully so at the time, were livid. I had random people messaging me saying how they couldn't believe I did that and I was wrong and how they lost all respect for me. I had created a shitstorm on Twitter, Discord, and Telegram simultaneously. Of course, the internet trolls had their day, and of course I fought back because that's what I do, and you have a hot temper. I also was completely oblivious to the impact of my actions at the time simply because I never engaged at the consumer level. This is the truth. In retrospect, I am glad this happened, and I will detail more on my growth from this experience in part 2 and 3. This was going on right before I got into the lengthy discussions with 2Ohm as a result of all of this. So with the result of these discussions turning up positive, I now realize I could have probably waited 30 days to do something, communicated better with our 2Ohm community, as well as buy some 2SHARE, 3SHARE here and there to get to know the 2-3Ohm community as well. I say we should cap his buys at like 3% of supply. I don't want Harry buying up all the 3Ohm or 2Ohm, just like he did to Tomb. Hindsight is 2020, and I sincerely apologize again as I have blah blah blah. But in regard to the shitstorm on Twitter, Discord, and Telegram against 2Ohm, 3Ohm I created, I knew it was something that had to be addressed. This was not going to go away by itself. Sure it would. Twitter has a 24-hour lifespan. One thing about me is that I thrive in high-pressure situations, and this is one of the most intense situations I have ever been in because there is no past precedent for what is happening. I knew I didn't have the luxury of time, as a huge amount of negative sentiment was pouring into the Discord for 3Ohm, along with a negative back and forth between them and Tomb Finance. So after I spoke with 3Ohm's leadership, it was at that moment I knew what decision to make, and I quickly evaluated my options. I had to make the best decision on the fly, and that was the best for Tomb Finance. Is it the best for 2Ohm though? Here's the thought process I had to go through in my head to make a decision, since time was of the essence. Lose-lose for everyone, and my quest for accountability ends up doing more damage than good for the ecosystem. Worst of all, in the long run, the biggest loser would be Tomb Finance and myself. That's what's going to happen. My reputation and credibility that I had spent so much time building up would be gone. Option 2, bye-bye ego. There you go, Harry. Get rid of that ego and admit you've been wrong. And burn a whole bunch of your Tomb if you want to help the price. Burn a whole bunch of your Tomb and I'm sure it'll peg. Acknowledge I was wrong, and 2-3Ohm wasn't a rug or a scam, and it actually benefits Tomb in our community as well as 2Ohm. 2Ohm also has an excellent team, so I couldn't ask for better partners right off the bat. They do have a great team. Also help solve my T-share emissions issue, as well as increase TBL for the entire Phantom ecosystem, and work with a team that shares the same vision of accountability as I do. Let's fucking go. All I could think was win-win-win. So I decided to take option 2 and build a partnership immediately. This was insanity. Taking a small position in 2SHARE, 3SHARE. Immediately after the conversation with the executive team, I needed some time to digest the information, and clearly our visions aligned. I had one of my deployer wallets purchase 100 2SHARES as a sign of good faith and our commitment to the partnership. I alas had to decide next how to acquire the 2SHARES and 3SHARES over time. The plan was to purchase the 2SHARES and 3SHARES over the next 30 days, so I had time to craft the partnership in detail. The problem at the time is that I usually like to buy 20% or 100% of a project, and 2Ohm, 3Ohm only had TBL of 7 million before I blasted them, and now it was 28 million TBL. I wanted to deploy 8 to 10 million USD How was I going to do that? I will explain more of this in part 2 and 3 of my 20% or 100% of investing in projects. More importantly, I had to apologize to the community, yeah. My plan was to acquire slowly at a lower price with limited orders, which I was able to do. However, that was taking too long. Dude, it's been a day. Sorry for yelling. We wanted to accumulate our position over a month, but things were happening in real time that made this impossible. That's probably why 3 just shot up today, because it has a lower market cap than 2 But I'm fully in 3 shares, so that worked out for me. The bloody DYOR wallet. As I started going into the chat room to spend time learning about the project, 3 members kept asking me if I took a position, which turned out to be the DYOR wallet. I had deployed some smart contracts for tokens we were launching. As I had some phantom on this address, it was more convenient for me to pick up 100 2SHARES from this address. Way to be sloppy, billionaire. What I didn't realize was that my DYOR wallet was being tracked. This actually made the situation worse because now I had no choice. I had to make the trade. For me, the best decision at the time was to figure out a way to acquire without moving the market, and I couldn't let people know it was me that was buying. So of course, this forced me to create new addresses that were not linked. All of you 3 sleuths, LOL, great job being so nosy. Still, it wasn't me, LOL, talking about something else. To my other transactions, which took me literally another 4 hours. Jeez, he's just dropped a bunch of money. I wonder how much he owns now. I don't like this. In full transparency, because of the risk level of the trade, I used my own personal funds for the benefit of Tomb Finance, 2 and 3 and the community, as it was greater than $10 million to purchase 2SHARE and 3SHARE to stake and earn. So he bought 2SHARE, I guess $5 million of 2SHARE and $5 million of 3SHARE, and probably put them both in the boardroom. Throwing off the sense, I also couldn't let anyone know it was me until after the partnership was announced formally through my comm teams. This is really the pain of trading and investing in projects in crypto. Everyone follows the money on the blockchain. That's true. Also, at that time, I was having fun being trolled and trolling to really lighten up the spirits of in the 3 At the end of the day, yes, it was me buying 2SHARE, 3SHARE for the benefit of Tomb Finance, 2 3 and the communities. At some point, I had to apologize, but I wanted to do it publicly. Apologize for buying a whole bunch of it, or apologizing for calling all the good projects scams, just because they are, frankly, better than Tomb. Yes, I do know how to send an ASCII to hex memo on MetaMask. I was trolling myself for fun. Addressing the optics on FUD to buy 2SHARE cheap. First, I want to dispel any myths, misconceptions, notions, or rumors that I said 2 3 was a rug and I bought it for the lowest price. My initial entry for the first 100 2SHARES costs $1,400. I did think about buying 2SHARE after seeing the price drop to 1,000, but never acted on it because I never buy something unless I am 100% sure it is legitimate. The price action was quite good because it bounced up from 850 back to 1,000, so from a trader's perspective, there was a lot of good support. So Harry did pump the price. The apology to the 2 community. And that's the, you're right, I'm sorry. That's the video I posted before this one. I'm going to post these back to back. Part 1, part 2. Apologies to the Tomb Finance community. What's the right decision? The end result, I am still in shock and disbelief that it worked out the way it did. Me too. I'm in shock and disbelief that 2 devs want to work with Harry. It seems like either Harry's trying to keep his enemies closer, he's trying to bail himself out by investing in something that is working, or 3 is trying to keep their enemies closer. They will be writing case studies about this in many years to come. Though he's such an egomaniac. He just said he got rid of his ego. Though there is some damage control, in the end everyone has to come out on top. I've created more multimillionaires and high-yield sustainable opportunities for everyone in the last 48 hours due to my methods. All I can say is I'm truly sorry for putting you all through this experience, and you are welcome. What a story. Yeah, if only, if only that money stays and people don't dump it. But the 3 community is strong. 2 community is strong. They don't sell. They just keep compounding. With this partnership, we have essentially increased the value of the Phantom ecosystem by $280 million in 48 hours and secured a bright future for Toom, 2 and 3 even the name Toom, 2 3 the fact you could just abbreviate and call it T23 and register a domain t23ohm.com. This was meant to happen. Is that a site? I think he's talking about making some sort of partnership. This is it, yeah. Some sort of partnership where people can... Ooh, I like how you can change the background by scrolling and put the moon down. So this is Toom, 2 3 I like this. And it's all about the life token. Learn more at Harry Ye's. Okay, I'm going to link this article, link this. And this is a different article. I'm going to link all of this. If you like the content, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I make a video. Join my Telegram. It's t.me/thecryptolodge. And good luck with all your trades, everybody. I will see you guys soon.